Today, I'm going to share some topic about life resets and risk takers. Life resets are all about endings, allowing for beginnings. Life is filled with them. From our very early years, through our teen years and our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, all the way through. The end of a relationship. Oh, my heart is broken. But something else comes along at the right time later. A job. You don't have a job anymore. Sorry, we don't need you. Oh my gosh, my world is going to collapse. And then some miracle happens. Somebody says something. Somebody sends you something. And there's a light that shines at the end of the tunnel. Risk takers. You look up in the Wikipedia, or you look up on Google, or you find out what risk takers are described as. Mental health issues, because it is not stable. They are usually not successful. They do not follow rules. They do not fit in. You get the picture. And if you are a risk taker, you absolutely understand exactly what I'm saying. Your astrology sign tells you an awful lot about whether you are or you aren't. The more you know about yourself, not just, oh, I'm a Taurus, I'm a Gemini, I'm an Aries, I'm a this and that. No. You got to go deep. And that's what I've been doing all my life. Trying to find out me through all of my experiences. And I have been so incredibly blessed. I didn't go looking for them. They came to me. And that's what this is about now. We are in a time where humanity is literally at the 11th hour of, God, how do I put this? We don't have any more lives left. This is the 9th life of the cat with 9 lives. For our world, for our humanity, for who we are as a people inside, with a heart that beats, with a breath that breathes, and a soul that has our matrix of life. I get emphatic because it's really, really true. So I have taken what I call a new life reset. And it's an opportunity and a chance to fulfill and create a legacy that I can leave. Now, it is partly financial. But more importantly to me, it is what I can leave in energy and wisdom on the planet with whoever and however I touch people. And this is Michelle O'Neill is the reason, the second part of the reason why I got to this life reset. The first reason is a dear, sweet person who I've never met, but I know. Her name's Carrie Lee. And those two have pushed me into a place of incredible gratitude. Because I am now realizing that every single experience I have ever had in my life is wrapped up in all of this at the moment. So, are you ready? Are you at a life reset, no matter what your age is? Accept all experiences that come to you. And I mean all. the most unassuming and the most unexpected and the ones that you would shy away from, step into. Let me give you an example. This goes back, and 20 plus years ago, with a young woman, a friend who ended up becoming was a student of mine for a long time and a friend. We went walking on the beach one night in Florida to get chocolate. Commotion in the background, hundreds and hundreds of people, middle of summer, people and cars everywhere. And a man comes towards us and we see this commotion. It's like, what's going on? Oh, there's a dead guy over there. Like, what do you mean there's a dead guy? Hey, lady, he's dead. Is anybody doing anything? He's dead, lady. Why? As you can imagine, me and my sarong and my little top, and I'm just like, oh, I can do something. Didn't know what, but I walked straight across with Laurie. We walked straight across, up and around into the parking lot. And sure enough, there's an elderly gentleman, probably late 70s. He'd probably had a heart attack sitting watching the sunset and the beach. And he was laying on his side. And immediately didn't even think about it. It's just in another world altogether. Come down, put my hands about this far away from his back. I can still feel him. Laurie's at the end of holding his feet, being present. And we're just present there with this man in that moment. He was gone with the heart, but his soul was still there. And so I hold it, and then there's a young man, and he comes over and he says, I just called EMS. Okay. We come to find out later he had driven around the block 3 times, which worked out probably 35, 40 minutes. And not one of the thousands of people that walked by ever called anyone to take care of this man. He was the first one. We were the second to turn up. The EMS turned up. 2 young men, bags in hand, come down. One on one side, the other comes next to me, and he goes right down my side. He touches me. Never looks at me, never says a word, nobody says anything. And we get up and step back. A police lady comes down. Just move back. And I said, thank you. We're just holding his space. And she says, straight out, looking directly at both of us, I'm certainly glad somebody is. And she walks off and we never see her again. That night, there were some other circumstances that played out. But that night, I didn't know until afterwards, but I was being, per se, tested. And so was my young friend, on how we handle the sudden situation when it comes from out of nowhere. The end of the evening, it was about 3 hours later when all of this sort of played out and changed. We're walking back to my apartment and there's a plop into the water. And as we're walking, we take a few steps and come across a beautiful, still warm location where the mother turtle had laid her eggs. And the big plop was her going back into the sea after she buried the eggs. An ending and a beginning. This is what life is. These are what resets tell you. So when you have a life reset, it's going to break you and humble you and do whatever it needs to do to get you into the place of, okay, I'll take that first little step. And that's what this is about. Risk takers and life resets. That's what I'm looking for. Who's ready? What I stepped into, and this is the first time I have publicly spoken about this. I am very quiet about it because I don't know everything yet. I'm still struggling through the social media part of this. I was introduced to what is called the digital growth community. It's digital marketing. But it is a concept that amazingly I have already seen probably 23 years ago. In my early days of being an Reiki master teacher and energy healer and sound, and I would do private sessions, and I was given a very unique modality that challenged a lot of the written texts of this is what is correct information and this is not. And I was given the correct information from ancient times, and if I didn't listen to it, I got everything wrong. So I had to go and listen to it. That's where I was being tested. And I would work with all sorts of types of people. The first place I was put in was in corporate America, doing energy, sound, healing with aromatherapy, sound, pictures, breath work, touch, in empty conference rooms, in people's offices, in machine factories, in printing companies, and you name it. I would turn up. I'm your gift today. Somebody gave me as a gift to you. You got stressed. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sit in the chair. I do my magic. I don't know their names. I don't know anything about them. I don't want to until afterwards. And then, they'd go on a journey. I'd put my hands on their shoulders and they were gone. They'd come back 20 minutes later or so. Wow. And then I asked them what they felt. I would share what I got. And it was like epiphany. We are put in those places to awaken people. This is what the community is doing to me now. It is awakening the memories that I've had from so many years ago. Because I remember having several clients in those past early years, particularly, that had been, were in finance or banking or some sort of very corporate area. And I would say, you might have the possibility of being in a completely new matrix of financial understanding and the way we're going to do business in 20 plus years. They look at me like, really? I said, yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's coming. It has to come, and it'll be 20 plus years before we get there. Whether they remember it or not, I don't know. I recorded everything for everybody, so I don't know. But when I heard when I listened to that video, the first video, the second time, and I heard what Michelle said about the blueprint, and I felt what it was for, and how it worked, I was like, that is the beginning of what I was being shown 20 plus years ago. And that's how long it's taken to get to this point. So the time is so ready for us the world to take a whole new view, but it has got to have courage. People have to have tremendous courage. This week in this country, actually probably in the world based on what happens, there's a life reset, big election. Who are you going to vote for? Big decisions. I take me. I'll vote for self. Because I have the interest in myself and the rest of how I want the world. The others, I don't believe they do. But that's not what I'm going to talk about. Why don't you make a list of every risk that you've ever taken, big and small, and what you've learned from each one, how you've become a different person, how you have helped others because of your experience, how you've empowered others. That is what I am witnessing in the community. I am very new. The very first reason I got in there was because of a message I received from my beautiful young son who passed 2 years ago on Christmas Day. And the day before his birthday, which was September 28th, he says, "Mom, you got to stop mourning me. You have work to do. You have people that need you, and you have to go and do it." That's what made me look at Michelle's video. And I've worked through every step of the blueprint because I have to know it. And I'm struggling through the social media, the steps, because I have to know it. This part's easy for me. The technical part is really hard. So we're getting there. Take a deep breath. What are you going to vote for? What are you going to do? Who are you going to become to change the world? Because the world, and this is what I was saying 25, 30 years ago, we have to incorporate all business and all corporate ideas and work through both the physical perspectives of the 3D world and the spiritual universal perspectives of high wisdom. Bring them both in together. Time is now. That's what Michelle is exempling in the community. That's what I'm feeling in the community. That it is finally being activated. And it is a wonderful, wonderful thing to witness. So what this offers is a whole new view of profits, of sharing, of bringing someone in through affluence, 100% profit. No way, 100% profit. A program, a blueprint that has been created for you and us that is really incredibly special, and it keeps on being refined. I'm learning that, and it's got ways to do it. It's got some amazing things to come through it. I don't know what they are, but I know that they're coming. And Michelle mentioned the mastermind, and I said, oh gosh, that's just another piece. I can tell. It is broken down into be able to, with practice, a 2-hour workday. The rest is your time. It is working with the algorithms of technology. And I didn't understand this in the beginning at all, of how it works for you 24/7 behind the scenes when you do the work up front in the 2 hours workday of posting and doing and sharing and whatever that through what the guidance is. And you telling your story, you being you. This is me. I have always been a communicator, and I have always been a challenger in a life, a risk taker. Just a little, long time back, 20 plus, everything, so much happened 20 years ago. My gosh, 20, 25, 30, 40, oh my God. I was living in Charlottesville, Virginia, home of Thomas Jefferson. And the birthday that you have all learned was written in every book since the late 1700s, because he was born in 1743, is wrong. It's not true. He was not born on April the 13th. No, he was not. And I came across it completely accidentally when I was living in Virginia, where happened to be where he was born, happened to be where he started the University of Virginia. He's the father of education, and his birthday's a lie. The short version of all of this is that in 1752, the powers that be of the British government, the English church, the US government, and all influences within Europe as well, they added 11 days to the calendar. So September the 2nd, 1752 was September the 2nd. September the 3rd automatically became September the 13th. Hello? What happened to all of the people in the middle that had, which Thomas Jefferson was 9 years old? Didn't matter. They automatically just changed his birthday. Everybody else has just changed their birthdays. Nope, you're not who you are. We're going to change it to something else. Do you think that would affect the legality of the Constitution being given the different dates? I don't know. It's a thought. But if we don't discover, and if we don't research history, and we don't listen, and we don't connect, and if something triggers in our mind and go, oh, what's that about? We don't learn. If we don't take a risk, we don't learn. I'm taking a risk with community. I'm taking a risk by even sharing this out here and going, I have no idea if anyone's going to listen. I have no idea if anyone cares. There's so many things going on, but there are 8 billion people. There are 5 billion people on social media, and probably 3 billion at any particular point in time. And there are millions and millions and millions of beautiful, simple people all over the world that want to have the freedom of an independent life to do and be and create what comes from their heart and their soul and their desires. That's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm doing it. So if you are at a life reset, if you are a risk taker, if you are ready to go, oh yeah, I want to do something new and something different. I want to try it and trust my guts, trust that place within me. Then put yes or I'm on or whatever words you want to put in the comments. I can't read and talk at the same time. So, or you can find me on TikTok at creative alchemy with an I, or awakenpassiveprosperity.org. And let's make some amazing magic in this world, along with all of the other beautiful people in the community. Thank you.